Well, hi guys, and welcome back to Two Qs with Lisa Ward. I am your host, and today we have the lovely Shelley Hines. So, Shelley, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Uh, I own DCG Environmental. It is a asbestos and mold consulting company. About three steps to what we do in a nutshell. First person has to find it. Second person takes it out, and the third person monitors the second person, makes sure they do their job right. We do one in three. That's the easiest way to explain what I do. It's not sexy and fun whatsoever, but we get to help a lot of people when they're in a crisis situation. So it's very fulfilling.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it. It's a
Yeah.
dirty job, so we're thankful you do. Awesome. So, I always have our two questions, and the first one is, what do you want that you don't already have?
I had to think really hard about that one because I'm not a big wanter, if you will. Like I don't, I'm pretty easy to please. But I am chasing a huge goal for my company, and that is 10 by 10. So I want to do 10 million in my 10th year.
Oh,
We
wow.
started in 2016, so we're 8 years in, and I'm about two and a half, three right now. So I've got 2 years to do a lot of moving. And
Hmm.
but I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the opportunities that I can provide for families, for employees, for women, for just encouraging the next generation, right? I'm the president of APWC, that's Association of Professional Women in Construction. And just being able to pass on the torch of like, look, anything you want is possible. Like I get butterflies and I feel nauseous every time I say 10 by 10 because it sounds like such an audacious goal. But
It's a
if it
big number.
doesn't, if it doesn't make you nauseous, it's not a good goal, right? Like for all these years, like when I remember when we very first started this company with my husband, it was his career. Very common to do a big project, get laid off, do a big project, get laid off. And by the third time, I'm like, just why don't you start your own company? He's
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, well, I do. Come on, let's go. And so we jumped in, and I knew nothing about what I'm doing. Nothing. Like,
Wow.
how was your day, honey? And why did you do it this way? And what did you do? And that's about all I knew about asbestos and mold. And so it was a really big learning curve for me. So, don't be afraid to jump in and learn right away. I mean, it's no problem to say, hey, Lisa, I'm not sure. Let me find out and I'll get back to you. Right. And
Hmm.
people are very open to that. It's not like everybody thinks they got to know everything before they can do something. And so I feel like because I haven't been afraid and because I do just jump right in and I'll figure it out, has been part of our success. Seriously, like just being able to jump in and not have to be the total expert, which is really funny because there's lots of levels of licensing in our industry. And the
Yes.
top one is asbestos consulting. And the state inspector called and he's like, well, you're a consultant, right? And I'm like, no, I just know the rules in my stuff. Like, I don't have to have the licensing. I employ those people and they have the licensing and they do all the jobs. But I do have an inspector's license because I wanted to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk and know what I'm talking about. As the
Mhm.
CEO of the company, as the one that runs the company, I wanted to know what my team in the field experiences, what they do. I still go in the field today. Like when we get super busy, I'll go help out. But
Nice.
chasing that to keep me a little bit more out of the day to day and the management. Like I really need to put some key people in place. And that's another thing that I really want that I don't have is I need to start putting in some of that mid management where you can stay small or you can go big, but the middle is really hard. And I'm in the middle right now. And that's hard to grow the company and envision where it could go and train and coach and teach and do all the work at the same time. So I'm trying to elevate my position to where I am that coach and that leader and not so much more the management of all the tasks every day. And so
Mhm.
that's another growth point that I'm chasing that I want. So yeah,
Mhm.
there are things I want, I guess.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah. We have some big hairy goals.
Yeah.
So you've kind of answered part of the second question. So it's, what's holding you back from achieving it? So
Mm.
maybe the right people or
For the longest time, it was right here. This
mm,
was holding me back. Like my husband would say, "Oh, we don't want any more employees. That's hard to do, and you always got to manage people, and they don't like this, they don't like that." And then I would hear somebody else say, like, "Oh, the bigger you get, the more harder it is." And then honestly, the bigger you get, the easier it gets because you get more people in place to do that work.
mm-hmm.
For me, it was seeking out a mentor, seeking out a business coach. Like if I could give any advice, I would say do that sooner than later, and don't think you can't afford it because we had substantial growth after getting a coach, like huge, because they just put
Wow.
the things in place for you. They put things in place for your mind, and make you believe that it's possible, right? Like my coach is like, I called her and I was like, hey, I, I want to triple this year. And she's like, let's go. Like there was no doubt. There was no all the things that I'm not going to be able to do, or here's all the things that are going to get in your way. It was just pure adrenaline. You can do it. Let's go. And so
Mhm.
I would say, like, holding what held me back for the longest time is I didn't have that mentor, that coach.
When
And
did
so
you hire them?
I've been working with her now for, I think, 3 years, right
Okay.
after, right after COVID.
Okay.
I started with her in January. I guess that was during
21 maybe?
maybe, yeah, maybe 21. I'm pretty sure it was after COVID because she talks about things that happened during COVID and I was on part of that. So January 21. So yeah, 3 years, 3.5 years.
Wow.
And that has made a significant increase in change in how I lead, how I coach, how I hire, how I fire, like all of the things, right? So getting that mentor in place really helped me propel. So now, like you said, that what's stopping me now is having the people. And
Hmm.
then I get stuck in that mindset, like, oh, nobody wants to work or there's nobody out there to hire. Well, that's not true. It's really not true. It's lies that we're telling ourselves. And we just got to get confident that the right person for this job is out there and they're going to come to this position when I start believing that they're going to come. And a lot of it is just super mindset, getting a coach, getting a mentor, getting younger people in this industry, right? Showing interest. I did a lot of work with CIEF, and I'm
What's
terrible
that?
with acronyms. I knew you were going to ask me.
We speak acronyms and I hardly know all of ours.
I know it. I know it. Oh, I'm failing.
Oh
I
well,
don't.
we'll look it
I
up
don't
after the
know.
fact.
It's
We'll get
construction
it.
related, and it's about getting kids into construction. So they do
Okay.
this big event, and they have them come build a building, and then they get graded on it, and they get scholarships, and but just getting that next generation interested in the trades, right? So we were such a
Mhm.
big college push for so long that
Yeah.
now there's not a lot of people out there in the trades industry anymore, or it's so easy to be TikTok famous now that you don't need a job in construction and go build buildings or go dig dirt, right? So it's not is doesn't have that draw that it used to have, but the money that's in construction that most people don't realize how much money you can make, that's like start looking into it because it's construction pays very well.
Oh, it obviously is because
Yeah.
we see construction all over, North Texas. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Poof. Oh, there's another housing development. There's another apartment complex. There's another,
Yeah.
outdoor outlet mall. It's like,
Right.
oh my gosh.
We get to see it all before it changes, right? So we get called in for old buildings to go test for asbestos before they were going to remodel. And then we go back and see like what it changed into. And that's kind of fun too, to be like on the in the know, like I know things that I can't talk about. Like I have to sign non-disclosure agreements. Don't tell anybody we're going to take this building down and change it into apartments, or we're going to change it into this really cool complex, and that's kind of fun, right? To get to know the secrets of what's going to happen around the cities. And
Hmm.
so there's lots of exciting things that are happening in construction and in the DFW area. I mean, Dallas and Fort Worth. So it's just, I don't know, it's exciting. I never would have imagined I would be in this industry. I was a buyer by trade. I went to school for accounting and
Oh,
management,
wow.
business management, and I only have a 2 year degree. I don't even have a 4 year degree. So you don't even have to have a full college degree to be successful.
Yeah, you don't have to have two
Yeah.
expensive pieces of paper like I have.
Well, and I'm not saying don't go to college. Please hear me on that. I think that that is very, very beneficial for a lot of people in a lot of careers. But if it's not your path, it doesn't mean you can't still
Oh
be at
yeah.
the top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's pivot and continue to learn and always be
Hmm.
a student.
Hmm.
This week.
I'm always a student. I will forever be a student.
Yes.
My
Yes.
coach once
So
asked me, he said, if you're not working, what would you be doing? I'm like, I'd be working on something else. If I'm not working, I'd be working on the house, or I'd be working in the yard, or I'd be
yeah,
learning
doing
something,
something.
reading something. Yeah.
Fantastic. So what piece of advice, if you had like gone back in time to, I mean, yourself in your early 20s or maybe in your early 30s, what piece of advice do you think would have been like absolute game changer for you had you known?
The opportunities that are out there for women now were not available when I was in my 20s. Like I would have never thought of owning my own business in my 20s. And
Mm-hmm.
now that is so common practice, right? Like now kids are coming out of college and they're like, oh, what am I going to start? What am I going to do? Like I would get out there and find a mentor that is going to show you the possibilities, right? You go through that little class. I know when you graduate high school, they put you through a little test like, where would you be good at? What job would you be good at? But don't think just a job. Think, what if I own that company?
Mm-hmm.
Allow yourself to think bigger. I always had a goal of 5 million until one of my CEO girlfriends says, why not 10 by 10? I'm like, oh,
That sounds better.
find people that are going to make you think bigger. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Mm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You need
That's
to
the
be around people that are going to make you grow and make you think bigger.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
And
like
that's
you're the net
exciting.
worth of the
Yeah.
5 people around you. Yeah. Same thing for knowledge. Always be
Yep.
challenging yourself. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Okay, so then what projects do you have coming up? Anything fun and exciting in the volunteering space, mentoring space, or just in business in general?
All of it actually. It's like for APWC, we just expanded to Austin and Houston. So I
Okay.
don't think I mentioned that, but we're in Texas. I have offices in Dallas and Houston, and then we service Austin, San Antonio. So being the president of APWC in Dallas, and this is our 8th year with that group. We started 8 years ago. We're growing like weeds. And I thought, why don't we take this to the other cities? Because it's very unique and it's different than all the other groups. And so that's what we started that, and that's that growth pattern. I've also got a opportunity to have a college division, and so we're working on that right now to where we can get to students that are coming into construction or have interested in being in a construction field, and showing them what's possible. Like it's not just being at the desk or being the secretary or being out changing the sign, stop, go. Like there's serious construction careers and it pays very well. But as a woman, you got to show that right? It's a little bit tougher for us because we walk in and the guys are like, don't show up in heels and a dress and a pink hard hat. Like that's so,
Mm-hmm. Get
so
ready to be
cliche.
made fun of.
But walk in the door with your hood held high and your shoulders upright and your stuff. And then you get that respect. And then it's just to the top. But that's being grown. That's kind of exciting. Um, Obviously expanding my own business, that's a big project. And then of course the top secret stuff I can't talk about, but there's some really cool building stuff happening in Dallas and Fort Worth that's keeping our team super busy. But I'm excited. They're like year-long projects and there's 2 of them on top of each other,
Wow.
another one in Austin. And I just, when someone says you're quickly becoming the largest environmental firm in the DFW area, it just makes my heart sink, but makes me very excited because we we have the image that we're very small and we're mom and pop shop, but we're kicking some butt. So that project of really exploding this, just that's probably the biggest project of them all. And then
Yay.
obviously hiring. I'm hiring. If you're in the DFW area and you want a job, find
Yeah,
me,
we're looking.
because yeah, that growth all the way around, right? So I got to teach and mentor and do all that, build some management teams to suffice all these jobs that are coming in. So I think it's all just going to be intertwined. So it's one big happy goal that's
Awesome.
burning through my gut.
It sounds like you're a busy lady
Yes.
and will continue to be. Awesome.
I
Well,
don't know
thank
how
you.
not to be.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us and hope you guys come back to hear our next episode. So have a great day.
Thanks for having me, Lisa.